The Freedom Ship. A visionary concept for a floating city. The Freedom Ship is one of the most ambitious and unconventional maritime projects ever conceived. Proposed in the late 1990s by American engineer Norman Nixon, it is not a traditional ship but a floating city designed to serve as a mobile ocean colony. The project aimed to create a self-sustaining community free from the laws of any nation, offering a unique lifestyle for its residents. Despite its grand vision, the Freedom Ship has faced significant challenges and remains unrealized to this day. This response explores the project's history, design, features, challenges, and current status, providing a detailed overview of this extraordinary concept. History and origins. The idea for the Freedom Ship was first introduced by Norman Nixon, an engineer from Sarasota, Florida, in the late 1990s. Nixon envisioned a floating city that would allow people to live, work, and travel without being bound by national borders or laws. The project's name reflects this vision of freedom, as the ship would operate as an independent, mobile community. Nixon's concept was inspired by earlier ideas, such as Buckminster Fuller's floating cities, from the 1950s, which proposed mile-wide vessels to house up to 50,000 people and free up land for agriculture and industry. However, the Freedom Ship took this idea to an unprecedented scale, aiming to create a city-sized vessel that would continuously circumnavigate the globe. The project gained media attention in the early 2000s, including a feature on the Discovery Channel's Engineering the Impossible, which highlighted its innovative design and potential. Despite initial excitement, the Freedom Ship struggled to secure the necessary funding and faced skepticism from experts. Nixon passed away in 2012, and the project was largely abandoned after the 2008 financial crisis. In 2013, Roger Gooch, a member of the original team, attempted to revive the idea, citing a change in the economic climate. Despite renewed interest, the project has not progressed significantly since then. Web ID 8. Web ID 12. Design and structure. The Freedom Ship's design is unlike any conventional vessel. It is not a single ship but a series of linked barges, forming a massive floating platform. This approach was chosen to address the structural challenges of building such a large vessel, as traditional shipbuilding techniques are inadequate for a structure of this size. The ship is designed to be 1,800 meters, 5,900 feet long, 250 meters, 820 feet wide, and 107 meters, 350 feet high, making it over a mile long and taller than many skyscrapers. For comparison, the largest cruise ship in 2023, the Icon of the Seas, is only 365 meters, 1,198 feet long, while the Freedom Ship would be nearly 4 times that length. Web ID 8. Web ID 11. The ship's base would be constructed from 520 airtight steel cells, each 24 meters, 80 feet tall, bolted together to form a sturdy, flat-bottomed platform. This design is intended to reduce the stress caused by hogging and sagging in heavy seas, which can lead to catastrophic failures in large vessels. The flat hull would also provide exceptional stability, allowing the ship to sail smoothly even in rough waters. The superstructure, rising 25 stories above the main deck, would house residential, commercial, and recreational spaces, creating a vertical city on the water. Web ID 8. Web ID 10. Powering the Freedom Ship would require an enormous amount of energy. The vessel is planned to be equipped with 100 diesel engines, each generating 3,700 horsepower, for a total output of 370,000 horsepower. These engines would drive a series of 400 fully rotational azipods, a type of propulsion system that allows for precise maneuverability. Despite this immense power, the ship would be relatively slow, with a top speed that makes it impractical for traditional shipping or cruising purposes. Instead, it is designed to travel slowly around the world, completing a global circuit every 3 years and spending most of its time moored near major coastal cities. Web ID 8. Web ID 11. Features and amenities. The Freedom Ship is designed to be a fully self-contained city, offering a wide range of amenities and services for its residents and visitors. Key features include residential and commercial spaces. The ship would have condominium housing for up to 80,000 residents, along with hotels, casinos, duty-free shopping malls, and office spaces. The residential units would vary in size, with smaller units starting at around 300 square feet and larger ones costing several $1 million. Web ID 8. Web ID 12. Healthcare and education. A first-class hospital and a complete school system K-12 would be available on board, ensuring that residents have access to essential services. The ship would also feature a library and other educational facilities. Web ID 8. Transportation and accessibility. To facilitate movement within the massive vessel, the Freedom ship would have its own rapid transit system. Additionally, an airport on the top deck would accommodate small commercial and private aircraft, allowing residents and visitors to travel to and from the ship. A fleet of commuter aircraft and hydrofoils would also ferry people to and from shore. Web ID 8. Web ID 10. Recreational facilities. The ship would boast extensive recreational areas, including over 100 acres of outdoor parks, sports facilities, and community spaces. Unique features like vertically layered public parks, aquariums, and even waterfalls would create a blend of urban and natural environments. Web ID 8. Sustainability and waste management. The project includes plans for eco-friendly systems, such as advanced waste management, sewerage disposal, and recycling methodologies. However, the environmental impact of such a large floating city remains a concern. Web ID 8. The Freedom ship's design also incorporates cultural elements, with sections dedicated to different countries, reflecting their architectural styles and traditions. This would create a truly international atmosphere on board. Web ID 8. Challenges and criticisms. Despite its visionary appeal, the Freedom ship faces numerous challenges that have hindered its development. Financial feasibility. The cost of building the Freedom ship has been a major barrier. Initial estimates in 1999 were $6 billion, but by 2002, this had risen to $11 billion. In 2013, Roger Gooch estimated the cost at $9-10 billion, but securing such a vast amount of funding has proven difficult. The project relies on attracting wealthy investors and pre-selling residential units, but skepticism about its viability has made this challenging. Web ID 8. Web ID 12. Technical hurdles. Building a vessel of this size presents significant engineering challenges. Current naval technology is not equipped to handle the stresses on such a large structure, particularly in open ocean conditions. While the barge-based design aims to mitigate these issues, experts remain doubtful about its practicality. Additionally, the ship's slow speed and massive size would limit its maneuverability and make it vulnerable to severe weather. Web ID 8. Web ID 11. Legal and regulatory issues. The concept of a floating city free from national laws raises complex legal questions. While the ship would fly the flag of a specific country and adhere to international maritime law, navigating territorial waters and complying with various regulations could be problematic. The idea of being free from national laws might not hold up in practice, especially in terms of taxation, labor laws, and environmental regulations. Web ID 8. Environmental concerns. A floating city of this magnitude would have a substantial environmental footprint. The energy required to power the ship, manage waste, and sustain tens of thousands of residents would be immense. While the project includes plans for sustainability, the overall impact on marine ecosystems and global resources remains a significant concern. Web ID 8. Critics have also pointed out that similar, smaller projects, like the Residencia, have struggled financially, casting doubt on the Freedom ship's potential for success. The comparison to tech startups is apt. While the idea is innovative, the lack of a minimum viable product or proven model makes it a high-risk venture. Web ID 12. Current status. As of 2025, the Freedom ship project remains stalled. Despite Roger Gooch's efforts to revive interest in 2013, there have been no significant updates or progress reports since then. The project's official website and social media presence are outdated, and there is no evidence of active development or construction. While the concept continues to capture the imagination of some, it is widely regarded as unfeasible due to its financial, technical, and regulatory challenges. Web ID 8 Web ID 12 Social media posts from X reflect a mix of fascination and skepticism. Some users express nostalgia for the idea, lamenting that it was never realized, while others question its practicality. For example, one user in 2020 described it as a shame that the project never materialized, highlighting its potential as a floating city with amenities like schools and parks. Post ID 2 Another post from the same year provided a brief overview of the ship's dimensions and purpose, emphasizing its ambition. Post ID 1 However, these posts do not provide conclusive evidence of the project's current status and should be viewed as expressions of public interest rather than factual updates. Conclusion: the Freedom Ship is a bold and imaginative concept that pushes the boundaries of maritime engineering and urban planning. It represents a vision of a future where communities can exist independently on the ocean, free from traditional constraints. However, the project's enormous cost, technical challenges, and legal complexities have prevented it from becoming a reality. While it remains an intriguing idea, the Freedom Ship is unlikely to set sail in the foreseeable future. Nevertheless, it serves as a testament to human creativity and the desire to explore new ways of living.